like email telling you. Give me the keys to your car and your medallion. You all away from your home using alien.
Andre Ward weighed in. The weigh-in just in. Andre Ward weighed in at 100. Andre Ward weighed in at 175 pounds exactly. Alexander Brand 173.2. I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Andre Ward is fighting a fighter that is listed at 5'10", and Andre Ward is listed at about 6 feet. And this Alexander Brand guy looks tiny. You know, check out the weigh-in. Check out the obviously the thumbnail, and also he's a 168-pound fighter. He's fought, you can say, 90% of his career at 168 pounds. Today is the most he's ever weighed in. Also, he is a 39-year-old man. We all know that this fight is going to lead to Kovalev versus Ward, because Kovalev is the A side in this situation. And, we understand why Andre Ward is fighting a safe fight. Remember, he was supposed to fight this Alexander Brand guy before he fought Sullivan Barrera. So, really, truth be told, I got to watch Alexander Brand fight a couple of times, and he's going to get beat down. He is 19-1 with 19 KOs, and the biggest fight he's had is Battle Jack. And it's the only, loss he had in a split decision. So, I look at it like this. When I watched Kovalev versus Chilemba, now, if you've watched Chilemba in the past, watched previous fights of his, he is a, somewhat of a nasty fighter. Like awkward, savvy, as they would call it. But he was jabbing the shit out of Sergey Kovalev. It seems to me that Sergey Kovalev didn't have an answer for the jab. But the lack of power of Chilemba, and the power of Kovalev was the biggest difference in the fight. And if you watch the fight, you saw that he knocked him out. So I think like this: Kovalev versus Ward is a hard fight to pick a winner. It's a hard fight to pick a winner. Now, smart money would go with Andre Ward, the pure boxer, the guy that hasn't lost since he was 12 years old. Smart money would go with him. But he's never faced someone as big and as strong and powerful as Sergey Kovalev. How does he hold up? But also on Kovalev's end, what does Kovalev inside game look like? Because we know, or you should know, we're going to be paying for it on pay-per-view. We're going to have Pacquiao versus Vargas on November the 5th. That's not finalized yet. And then on November the 19th on pay-per-view, what is that, 2 weeks later, we're going to have Kovalev versus Ward. Now, I'm going to pay for all the fights, but I'm going to, everybody should pay for Kovalev versus Ward. There's no reason why that pay-per-view should do, I say it should do around 500,000 buys. My personal opinion. Now, I understand that Andre Ward is really, really not as known as we would want him to be. As Eddie Hearn once said, he has trouble selling out his living room. Also, ticket sales in Oakland are not good, and that's his home, And I'm glad they have him fighting there, but he don't be, putting people in seats. But either way, boxing fans, you should unite, the casuals and the hardcores, because that right there, outside of Thurman versus Porter, is the biggest fight of the year. Now, as far as the most lucrative fights of the year, it would be Canelo versus Khan and Golovkin versus Brook. And then remember, also, there's supposed to be another pay-per-view later on this year on HBO involving Miguel Cotto and James Kirkland. So, HBO, this second half of the year, they're really making us pay our money. And then we already pay for HBO, the network, and, But, that's for another video. I look at it like this. Andre Ward has a great chance to beat Sergey Kovalev. Why? Is because we don't know what Sergey Kovalev looks like fighting on the inside. When Bernard Hopkins tried to do that, when Bernard Hopkins tried to, tried to get in on the inside and, tie Kovalev up and everything, what did he do? Hit him right on the top of his head. And I'm sure John David Jackson, is training Kovalev to be able to deal with that because he has a reputation of being somewhat of a dirty fighter. Not like a head-butting type of fighter, but hold you, clench you, hook your arm and then still hit you after the break. Andre Ward knows like how like to watch the referees. Referee turn his head once, he getting an extra shot in there. So how is Kovalev going to be able to deal with that? Because that's the type of fight he's going to make. But also Kovalev is strong. He's a real strong fighter. And I understand. I mean, like strong and physically strong. And he's got a nice jab to the body and a nice straight to the. Kovalev put people down, and it's not it's morbid to talk about, but he wants to kill the man in the ring. So, dude ain't no joke. Dude ain't no joke. And this is by far going to be his biggest fight. This is Andre Ward's. This is Andre Ward's third fight, this Alexander Brand fight in 3 years since 2013, since he fought Edwin Rodriguez. Remember, he fought Edwin Rodriguez. He fought Paul Smith. He fought Sullivan Barrera. And remember, this is his third fight since Edwin Rodriguez. And then now he's fighting Alexander Brand. And, there was talks of him maybe fighting Nathan Cleverly, but I forgot. Nathan Cleverly just got a big fight or close to finalizing a big fight. I think he just got a big one. But, people are going to say that Andre Ward is forced into fighting Sergey Kovalev because the HBO agenda and all that. No, he needs a big fight. And also, he has said and talked about that 168 was getting hard for him. And also, with the injuries that he was suffering and everything like that, it was time for him to move to 175. In fact, I was saying that he should have fought Chad Dawson at that catchweight of 170 pounds because he would have been a two-division champion. He would have been a two-division champion, and of course, he would have been, what happened with his career. He would have been, he would have lost all those belts, and we wouldn't have likely seen Stevenson versus Ward versus Stevenson. But now, if Andre Ward wins, he'll have 3 belts just like Golovkin. We got two fighters right now that are close to being undisputed champion. I don't want to see those belts split up. I don't want to see them split up. I want either Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev, Canelo, or Gennady Golovkin, to become undisputed champions. So and it's all being set up like that. Imagine like a super fight at like 175. Let's say if they negotiate at 170. And I'm not for catch weights. Let's say just for one fight, if Golovkin beats, let's say just for one fight, if Golovkin beats Kell Brook, if Golovkin gets to fight Canelo and beats Canelo, or vice versa. I don't think that they would do that to Canelo. I don't think that Golden Boy will put him at 175. But let's just imagine an Andre Ward beats Kovalev, or Kovalev beats Andre Ward, and then they get Stevenson beat him. Can you imagine if we can have 2 undisputed champions meet at a catchweight? And I know all the titles are not going to be on the line. If it would be Golovkin, the fact that he can still make 160, he would be a champion in 2 different divisions, skipping 168. So that's the type of shit I think about. Thinking for the future, like the what ifs. But we can talk about how people are saying he ducked Andre Ward, whatever the case may be. Listen, at that point in time, Andre Ward was having significant troubles with his promoter. He was having he was having some major troubles with his promoter. His career didn't look like it was going to be on the right track. God rest his soul, but Dan Gusa literally took Andre Ward's contract to the grave. And Andre Ward was being sued for $10 million for defamation because he kept trying to get out of a legal contract because he kept losing in court. So, Rock Nation did wonders for him, man. Rock Nation did wonders for him. But, we can't really be mad too much at this Alexander Brand fight, but at the same time, we can't have double standards. Nobody's talking about, bad about Andre Ward fighting Alexander Brand. You don't hear people saying, look, he's fighting another bum. People didn't know who Sullivan Barrera was. Americans didn't know who Paul Smith was. And then he's fighting Alexander Brand. It's 3 fights. It's 3 fights, bro. It's 3 fights. And then if you count before that, Evan Rodriguez, that's 4 fights of nobody. That's 4 fights of nobody. 3+ years of nobody. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just stating the facts and calling the truth. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Of course I'm going to be covering the fight. I'll likely be doing a Google Hangout for the fight, which is a live stream. Follow me on Instagram. All the links to my social media are right down below in the description box. Also have a website launching, fightview360.com, and it's going to be a totally innovative experience. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.